It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3, and we're going to continue the conversation about achieving our goals before the end of the year. And it's very important for your mental health too to have those check-ins. This morning, we're going to find inspiration from a new self-help book. It's called The 8-Step Guide to Modern Mental Health. And we have the author, Devin Munsami, in studio with us as we unpack this a little more. Good morning and welcome.
A very good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was hailing a few minutes ago.
I know.
Crazy, hey?
Yeah,
The weather in South Africa is
crazy.
crazy, but I think when it comes to emotions, it can sometimes be viewed as a lot more crazier, right? Now, something that's really exciting is this book that you provided. It's offering this guide to deal with our mental health and many other issues. And one thing that is highlighted, especially in the first step, is to understand it. And that understanding of our mental health, modern mental health, what it actually means. I want to know exactly what are some of these subtle nuances that are affecting and influencing our mental health today, especially.
Well, in everyday life, I mean, a job like this, people walking into corporate positions, even people at home or students, pressures of exams, conflict within the workspace, managers, colleagues, rifts. So there's so many different aspects and elements we could think of in our day-to-day lives that affect the way in which we see the rest of the world and ourselves, and how we respond to those things.
And these don't sound like major things. These are like small things that we constantly engage with throughout the day. And this is important to actually become aware of this, right?
Of course, a practical thing, a car breaks down, you miss a payment, financial commitments, school fees, your kid not passing an exam as an example. So all of these things, just everyday little things that sometimes when we don't necessarily have the tools to deal with them, could amplify, could almost like the pressure cooker effect, could allow us to explode eventually emotionally.
And it starts small and it builds and it builds. And if you don't release that pressure cooker, I can imagine the ramifications can be quite disastrous in that aspect.
Yeah.
But Devin, let's unpack triggers, because I think there are quite a few triggers in this world that can set off someone's anxiety or set off, you know, that state of mind that they were in and completely flip it. How can we identify certain triggers and what's the best way of not necessarily avoiding them, but facing them head on?
Triggers come in many forms for many people. So for 8 billion people in the world, there are probably like 8 billion different versions of what a trigger could be. So if we look in the corporate context as an example, we govern by policies and procedures, a code of conduct. Sometimes people don't recognize the triggers because I'm supposed to behave in a particular way in business. So I'm supposed to act in a certain way. I'm not supposed to express myself because the policy tells me to behave like this and like that and have an automated response. So people don't often identify the trigger at that particular moment because we focused on the policy and the framework or the code of conduct. Only after that, some people will reflect and go, I wasn't comfortable with that meeting. I wasn't comfortable with what happened with my colleague at that moment. So some people are delaying the identification of the trigger. So when we delay it, we miss the opportunity to actually work on it. So if we're angry at that moment, it's important for us to recognize my anger and to be able to work with it. Otherwise, we're missing a learning opportunity. So triggers are many. So it could be a long list of things for many different people. Could be traffic, we mentioned finances, could be the kids, could be somebody just moving your coffee cup or somebody not even washing a coffee cup. In the sink, and you're working with many different people. So there's so many, there's a plethora of them.
Now, we mentioned triggers, and I hope that people can be aware of them and identify them, because that's one of the steps. But the book also highlights what to do in the situation where we maybe are aware of these triggers. We now need to deal with it. We have some sort of a coping mechanism that we sort of instill. How, based on what you've seen, maybe from what we can see in the book, how exactly can we possibly go about dealing once we are aware of these sort of triggers? Because that's easier said than done, right?
Yeah. Now, that's why I thought the 8 steps is a great way to introduce these concepts to people. So I've been doing a lot of diversity programs programs with the college that I run and own, and between Cape Town and Joburg and Durban. And I saw a common thread with the last book, Racism and Classism. It was about finding a balance and social cohesion in the workplace. And then that was done. And then we realized that post-COVID, that a lot of people were struggling to cope mentally in the workplace. So stress was a factor, and the body has a physical reaction to stress. So I decided, well, let's leave them with a guidebook in terms of how to manage it. So, so having the step-by-step guide is almost the absence of having to speak to a counselor, like myself, for example. So you can yourself navigate through understanding on a day-to-day basis how to deal with these things. So we spoke about the stress having a physical reaction. Sometimes when the cortisol levels are very high in the body, then dopamine and all those other fun, happy endorphins are a little bit, lower. And we're not enjoying the moment, right now, because stress and anxiety is so high. And some people even after COVID, we've experienced in the corporate space and generally, some people have a bit of social anxiety. Even going out to a dinner party, people need to psych themselves up before they actually go out. And we need to talk about these things,
Yeah, we definitely do. Well, Devin, don't go anywhere. The book is available for you. This is Devin Munsami's 8-Step Guide to Modern Health, and you are in luck because one lucky Expresso winner will be able to win a signed copy. Now, all you need to do is answer the following question. Why do you want to learn more about how to improve your mental health? It's a very easy question. Head on over to Expresso's Facebook page, comment and use that hashtag Modern Mental Health. The competition will close at midday on Sunday, the 17th of September. So you've got some time to get your entries in. There are T's and C's that can be found, and those are available on our website, expressoshow.com. But don't worry, we're giving one away, but this book is available for you, and we're still going to continue our conversation with Devin, so stay tuned.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are just in time as we continue the conversation with author Devin Munsami about the 8-Step Guide to Modern Mental Health. It is a book that is available right now. But Devin, just to give some context, who would you say this book is for and why should they get their hands on it?
The book is for pretty much any South African wanting a practical approach to achieve positive mental health going forward. So anybody in the corporate space, somebody within family sector, students, and people who are ready to engage and talk about good mental health practices.
Oh, I love that. And I think it's so fitting, especially in the time in right now, leading towards Christmas, leading towards the end of year goals that we still want to achieve. I really think that this is a guide that can assist so many South Africans in getting that goal and ticking the box like no other. So it's an exclusive, and officially right now, Mzansi, we're going to get the chance to obviously get one of these books. An official live signed copy is going to be given away. So as you can see, Devin is literally going to sign that right now. And while he does that, let me remind you that this is your opportunity to win big. And if you've been inspired by Devin's 8-Step Guide to Modern Health, then you're in luck. You can stand the chance to win a signed copy. And all you need to do is answer the following question. Why do you want to learn more about how to improve your mental health? Simple as that. Comment with your answer on Expresso's Facebook page using the hashtag Modern Mental Health. And don't forget the competition ends on midday on Sunday, the 17th of September, 2023. Your terms and conditions can obviously be found at expressoshow.com. So what are you waiting for? The year is almost over, like 111 days till the end of New Year, 105 days to Christmas. But you've got so much time left to go through these 8 steps that are going to guide you through a beautiful life, a beautiful mental space that can allow you to achieve your goals. Thank you so much, my friend. And I hope that this winner is going to just dive into this and do so much more, because I'm definitely going to do that. I'm liking, subscribing, and getting this book. You should too.